anger and the violence towards each other, right? The devaluing of Black lives, because the devaluing of the Black lives to the extreme is taking each other out. The devaluing of the Black lives in the infancy is, you know, just, why are you looking at me like that?
In a way that you wouldn't do to other.
Yeah. But you gonna just automatically nut up on me? Like, that's not fair. Simply because you see my Black skin and then you want to say that you don't have a problem with Black people.
Exactly.
I got a problem with you. Where did the problem arise except for as soon as you saw my Black skin, you had a problem?
Absolutely. Men and women.
Yeah.
I keep bumping up against men because anytime I want to say something, they want to shut me down. Well, I just don't like you. You don't know me. What you don't like is that I'm a woman that's saying something. Because if I was a man saying it, it would make sense. It makes sense. You just don't want to hear it coming from me as a woman.
Yeah.
You do that with other Black people as well. You don't want to see it coming from ourselves. Not because you're just so set and hating other Black people. We were taught that from birth. If you get on any type of media, 99% of the time it's going to be anti-Black. So it's not like you could have escaped it. It wasn't your fault. But you got to be intentional about climbing out of it.
It's definitely all by design. God has been on me heavy. Like, me and my husband used to, I used to say, we talk about 3 subjects strong. We talk about selling, slavery, and AIDS. And I don't know how AIDS coming up. It hasn't in a very long time, but like it comes up, and I'm just like, how does slavery keep coming up? Like, in 2020, why do we keep talking about slavery? Just as a couple, somehow our conversation always circle back to slavery. Somehow our conversation always circle back to selling, and it always circled back to AIDS. So I remember joking about that like years ago. And now to be in a space to where I am like, call my ass, because I am freeing the slaves, because we are still in mental bondage. The only reason why they allowed the physical chains to be removed outside of economy was because they had our minds. That whole time was experimentation. That whole time was a proven a theory that you could break our minds. It took them 400 years to break our minds, but as soon as they broke our minds, they're like, all right, you're free.
Yes.
And
someone showed me an analogy I've seen come up multiple times, where there's a specific type of crab that if you put them all in a bucket, you don't have to put a top on the bucket, because they'll keep pulling themselves into the bucket. So they knew they put us in this bucket, I don't have to put a top on it. There's no top there anymore, but we'll pull ourselves down.
Yep.
Because of what we're surrounded by, what we've been taught for generation upon generation upon generation.
And what God just gave me with that was, initially, it was survival. We had to shrink ourselves in order not to literally be plucked off of the street and killed. And so, especially our Black men, you had to make yourself small, especially the darker your skin. So now you're experiencing repression, because that's your survival. I'm able to survive a little bit better than you're able to survive simply because my skin is lighter. You know, so now we have that resentment because it is like 100%, right? Our circle, you know, yes, it's that your skin is more palatable and more preferred because it looks like theirs, but don't get it twisted. I'm still a nigga too, you know? And so, but another part of this is, if they scan a crowd, their eyes are going to fall on the darker skin than the lighter skin. So your darker skin makes you a target over me. So now you have a problem against me, not because of their favoritism, but also because it makes you a target. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to walk back for this.
In order for us to heal each other, we can't do what we've done in the past. A lot of times, lighter skinned people would take that ticket and run with it. Well, sorry, Mom, sorry, Dad, you don't pass the paper bag test. I'm gonna go have my life. Love that. So us as lighter skinned people need to backtrack on that. Use our privilege. I'm like, I am a power mover. I have had police officers stop traffic so I can cross the street. Meaning I put myself in between police officers and whoever's behind me. I know they're gonna think our job. So that's where the great power comes great responsibility on our parts.
I love that. I love that. And so, the slavery link that I was just making is, we just had to shrink ourselves to survive. And of course it has turned like beating our kid. Yes, to survive. I had to break you.
So they don't hate you.
Yes. And so now that shrink yourself and saying whatever the fuck I gotta say to break your spirit, the breaking of the spirit, it literally says in Let's Make a Slave, you break a Negro like you break a horse. So those same tactics we use in our home now are unnecessary. You don't have to break your child's spirit. But we don't know that because we don't know what else to do. We're all switching to this alternative parenting stuff, which is exactly what I did. When I stopped breaking my children's spirits, I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how not to yell. I don't know how to do anything to get results, and so my house went to chaos. And so what a lot of us are experiencing is, okay, if I stop doing this, I have no control. And so that's why our missions are so important. Well, my mission, because I'm focused on the family, you're focused on love. So your message is potentially, you're going to take the information from our weekly meeting and you're going to go deliver your message, your brand, right? And so, but my focus is the family. And so it's to get us from the now what space way quicker than I was there for a year. My house went to shit for a year.
That's the vision that I keep being given. That taking this knowledge that I have and I'm sharing it with those who want to hear it to better their lives and the lives of people around them.
Mm-hmm. You gonna do your work or no, Miss Maria?
Exactly. Am I gonna do that work?